because when I came home after 8 years, I paroled out to my brother's walk-in closet.
I still got 3 years of parole left.
I'm Isabel Black, or Izzy, the Intentional Healer, along with my wonderful host, our wonderful host, the Professor of Change, Brenda Ringwood. And we have a special guest today, Arkevious Armstrong. What would you say, what do you think happens to when people, we all have a calling,
Absolutely.
when they're not answering it?
Okay.
Where do people usually find themselves when they're fighting that calling?
Stuck, stuck in the same place, watching other people pass them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You done started something. I spoke to a gentleman, a young lady earlier about that. You know, some things that we don't understand is that the fact that God gave us a gift, that gift is not going to be easy to fulfill. It's not going to be something that you're just going to wake up and you're just going to thrive in. No, God gives you a gift, a talent in the form of a puzzle piece. It comes in the form of, like, you see it. You see the cover of the box. It's a pretty picture. But man, when you open that box up, it's 2,000 pieces.
Mess.
And now you got like, how do I put this together? But when you know it's your calling, when you know it's your purpose, you understand it's going to take you to be patient. It's going to take you to be committed. It's going to take you to be really trust God, have faith, and you're just going to have to work at it every single day.
Right.
Yeah.
And to complete a puzzle. So you just gave, I got the vision of, you know,
Yeah, he's working through you already.
we typically start with the edges,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So we want to figure out who we are, what are we trying, it's all within.
Yes.
And then you see all the pieces, but when you just look at it at a glance, it's just a bunch of pieces laying in front of you. You have to focus in.
It's also overwhelming
Look at-
when you look at it like that.
Look at each piece, the color, the shape, look at the box. What's my vision? How did you get started?
The $1
What's
million
the story
question.
behind the story?
God. Listen, let me tell you the honest God truth. I did not choose this platform. I did not choose to be an author. I did not choose to be a speaker. I did not choose to be a social influencer. Understand? I did not choose to be entrepreneur. Like God put this in me. God woke me up. So the story behind the passion, the story behind the inspirationalist. Again, my story is not like everybody else's. I grew up and I had to deal with a lot of challenges, a lot of overcoming. My mom was a drug user. My father was a heroin addict. And so I grew up in the foster system, training school, group homes, detention centers, in and out the system.
Sounds like you.
Kind of
Not
like
in the
you.
foster system,
Right.
but yes.
You know, some challenges, right? Detention center. Oh, you don't look like you had a little rough edges. It's like, you don't even know the story. Yeah. But, you know, it's amazing though.
You know, I'm blessed that those days of mine were
Yeah.
in my juvenile days.
That's good, but I think those things that we had to deal with and overcome, it cultivate us to be some strong people, you know, and I think, you know, we deal with things a lot different than those who have been through something. You know, we can resonate and reach people that some people can't reach.
That's right.
And so I never would take anything back. But, you know, from foster homes, group homes, detention centers, training school, state prison, federal prison, before I was 25, I started using drugs at age 11. My past is my platform. Like there are some hurt people out there. There are some damaged people out there. There are some people who has went through something, trying to come out of something, trying to get the answer, right? And there are so many people that are speakers that's telling people, you can overcome, you can do this, you should, but they trying to see what does that look like?
Right, they don't know.
They don't know, and I promise you, like when Arkevious Armstrong walks in the room, when Arkevious Armstrong opens his mouth, that's what it looks like. You know, that's like, you want to know how you overcome something, and when people threw dirt on you, when people have turned their back on you, when people have hurt you, when you've been cast out, when you've been thrown away, when you know for a fact there's only one way that you can go, and that's down on your knees and looking up, and how he can resurrect you from all of that, dust you off, polish you up, and for the very ones who tried to bury you, he take that dirt and allow you to stand on it. You hear me? Like I am the example. And that's why I tell people, no, I don't attend seminars. I don't attend conferences. I don't have to when he already given it in me. I don't have to need the secret. He is the source.
That's right.
And look at how many times he was outcast.
Come on.
And he was spit upon and talked bad about and thought he's not God.
Come on. And that's the very thing. You know, I just trust people to trust God. That's how I say, just trust God. Trust God, because it's a reason why that trigger didn't go off. That wasn't man, that wasn't a speaker. No,
that's right.
That was God. It's a reason why that last pill you took and it didn't kill you. There's a reason why you didn't drive the car off the bridge, or you know what I mean? It's a reason why you still here. That's not man, that's God. And so that's why I always listen. Anytime you see me or hear me, listen, my mouth opens up, I give my God the praise, because it was him. It was him. And he has me walking in places, going through doors where a lot of people got to beg and knock on the doors and try to, I don't need to be in every room.
Right. And not every door is your door.
And not every door is my door.
That's right. So when did you step out on stage and start this transformation?
Again, I've always started local. The recreation center, the Boys and Girls Clubs. When God put it in my spirit, he put it in my mouth, to open up my mouth to speak. I remember very vividly, and it was 2012, and someone from Hawaii reached out to me, didn't know me. They say, hey, I follow you on social media. I want to let you know, this 2012, I want to let you know that I had a dream about you. Please don't think I'm weird, nothing crazy. I'm like, no, you're good. She's like, well, I had a dream that you was a best-selling author of multiple books. And I saw you on a stage speaking amongst the multitude. And she go in, she like, you know, it just seemed so real, it was crazy. She didn't even know that I had a similar dream. You know, sometimes when God gives you something, you just settle and think, like, man, that's weird. It felt so real. No, and like, it felt so weird. It just felt so real. Like, man, what is it? And so she reached out to me again a few days after that and was like, please don't think I'm crazy. I had the same dream. And it's like, whatever God is trying to do through you, please obey it. And so when you look at a person who was facing a 24 years of life sentence at 13, I tried to kill somebody at 13 years old. I got sentenced to 4 years. I came home at 17 and selling drugs, committing robberies, popping pills. I committed another a violent offense to where I shot somebody again, and they almost lost their life, and I was facing 35 years of life, and I ended up getting 10 years, and I served 8 years, almost 8 years on that sentence. And that's why I turned my life around.
Mhm.
I didn't grow up in church. My mom didn't go to church. My grandmother didn't go to church. So I didn't go to church. I walked into a church. I was in prison the first time ever. And once I gave my life to Christ while I was in prison, it was a funny feeling, a feeling that I was so uncommon with. What is this burning feeling in me? Like, why do I feel warm? Like, why do I keep crying? Why I feel like I'm emotional? I feel like a woman. I feel like,
He's
like
changing you.
oh my goodness, because I didn't have compassion, nor did I have
You didn't know what
emotions.
it felt like.
I didn't, because I have been through so much. I used to get literally physically abused by my father. Literally, like beaten. I ain't talking about no whoopings, no beatings.
Mhm.
Stand in the corner on one leg, lick water off the floor, run your head into the wall, just torture, slapped in the face. Like, I was a kid who had no emotions. All I knew was violence. That's all I knew. All I knew was I'm hurting, so I gotta hurt something, someone. And it gave me a fulfillment, right? Like, even when I used to commit crimes like carrying guns, and I would rob people for stupid stuff. But the love of you being vulnerable to me gave me like a high. And so, I mean, I used to hear people like, yo, this kid is crazy. Like, you can see, like, that's why, like, when people see my mugshots, they like, yo, you see it in your eyes.
And you know, you can, when you see
Yes.
a changed person,
Yeah.
you can tell.
They're like, dude, you was like possessed. And, and it was just like, what I mean, now, what I mean, living, like I'm living and I'm helping other people heal and live. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's why I tell people, I refuse to keep my mouth shut.
Good for
Because
you.
I did not do this.
Right.
This is God.
Yeah.
You see him.
I see the gentleness now, because you were talking about just how violent you were. I don't see that anymore.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I said this when I just spoke at just a few minutes ago. When God does something through you, you do not look like what you come out of.
Right. That's right.
Hear me clear. When God does something through you, you whatever you come out of, you don't walk the same, you don't talk the same, you don't look the same.
Right.
So people don't
You're
know
not the same.
you're not the same. And people really don't know my past until I tell them, because really when they see me, I get it all the time. Like, bro, every time you post your mug shots, it still don't seem real. I had one lady told me, she said, I think your story is a lie.
Wow.
I've been told that.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, the way I articulate myself, the way I carry myself, you don't know I have tattoos until I wear short sleeve shirts.
But sometimes we just think that because people have been to prison, they're going to have that prison look. But let me tell you, there's not a prison, because prison does not discriminate.
No, they don't.
There's discrimination in prison, but prison itself does not
It doesn't.
discriminate.
I don't care how much you got, no matter how broke you are. Trust me, we welcome you. And here's the thing: I believe in the prison system.
I do, and I don't. I do. I believe that they're necessary, and I believe that there's some people that never need to come out. But I also believe that the people who put people there have way too much power.
Right.
And the system needs to change.
Right. And again, but that's not the prison though.
No, it's the people.
That's the system.
That's the system.
That's the system.
Yeah.
But
like I said, the prison is needed.
Yeah.
It is needed.
And here's my theory. I've never seen someone walk into a prison and come out looking worse than they did when they walked in. Like, prison have saved so many lives.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
the drug
The
users.
drug user.
Yeah.
I've seen reformed people come out and start businesses, be more of a father, be more of a mother. Like, that prison have
They
saved so many.
appreciated what they lost now.
So that's why I believe it.
Me too.
You wouldn't be sitting here with Arkevious Armstrong if it wasn't
I
for
agree
prison.
that part with
You know
you.
what I'm
Yes.
saying?
But if you didn't go through what you went through,
Come
you
on,
can't be
Howard.
helping the people that you're talking to now.
And it's a great statement, because my walk is an example.
Yes.
It's an example.
Right.
The way
It's
I.
also a choice.
It's oh my God. It's
Well,
a
I was
choice.
going to get to that a second ago. I didn't want to interrupt, but I know for myself, I'm just one decision away of being the person I used to be. It's a choice every day. And I think people think that when they change their life, everything around them changes. And they're dependent on that. But no, it doesn't matter where you're at, what's going on. It's a decision one makes for themselves.
Absolutely.
And for me, like I said, it's a daily recommitment.
That's it.
Because every day the old Isabel tries to show up.
And it's easy.
It's very
easy to
easy.
go back.
It's easy.
Yeah.
And I have to know why I no longer choose that life.
Right.
So what are you doing on a regular basis? You're speaking, you're writing a book. What else is in your life that you do?
Oh my God. I'm doing his work. So I have a organization called Step Up to Leadership.
Mhm.
It's a social development program back in Charlotte, North Carolina that focus on young boys from age 10 to 17 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
So we teach social and personal etiquette, social and personal development,
That's
decision-making skills, conflict resolution, business and trades, financial literacy. One of the biggest things that I pride myself on, and I started this organization. One of the things, and you probably saw the van is wrapped. I have a van.
I think I did see
yeah,
something. I didn't
yeah.
know it was you though.
Yeah, that's my organization, and I was donated. That van was donated by
Wow.
one of my corporate sponsors, which is one of the largest car dealerships in Charlotte. And doing the work, showing them by exposure. I believe exposure is the best teacher, and so we can teach. We can give them all the tools. Sometimes we got to remove people out of their situation, so we can show them what you can have. We can show them different avenues. And so every time I come in contact with some great people, I don't be amazed about what you're doing and what you have. I want to see how what you're doing can impact my young boys.
That's right.
And so we're right now currently have partnered up with Bass Pro Fishing Academy Sports, because we have diversified the Bass Pro fishing with young black boys.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. It's something like I fell in love with fishing. I never had an outlet.
Mhm.
I'm always giving, speaking, providing. And I'm like, okay, what do I do for me?
You have to.
You have
find
to
that. Yes.
reset. You have to recharge, right? And so one day I was speaking in Minnesota and met up with some great people. They love fishing, and they took me out there on the boat. I fell in love. I've always loved water. Period. The sound of water, the flow. It's peaceful. When I go teach, I don't like to walk it during the day because it's just so crowded and you don't really get to feel the energy. But at nighttime, it's something about walking the beach at night. I feel the presence of God. I feel the energy, and you just hear every wave. It's just like you just hear. And so water is just like my sanctuary, man. So fishing just allows me to escape. So I was thinking like, man, I want to expose my young men to this. And we would do stuff like go to a park, cook out, play some cornhole, and just enjoy and stuff like that. And I met up with some great people, and I told them what I love. I know such and such. They plugged me in. And so I was sat down with some people who can make some stuff happen. I'm like, well, this is what I want to do. And now maybe 3 or 4 of my boys in the program are on the fish profession now.
Wow.
Good.
So
That's
like,
amazing.
it's a lot of great stuff. Like I said, business and trade, we do financial literacy, talk about generational wealth and stuff like that. And you don't see much of that in the Black community, right? Fishing, like you're like, okay, that's fishing. Most kids fish with their uncles, their grandpa on a bank, walk through woods. But when you put them on a Bass Pro boat, give them jerseys, give them equipment, and get them where they seem like 80 to 100 boats out of. Oh my God, it takes their imagination. Like Dr. Delatoria said yesterday. Yes. And now it's like the biggest nation is your imagination. I have a friend.
Say that again in that camera.
The biggest nation is the imagination. At Dr. Delatorio, he said, if you're gonna use my stuff, please at me. He said, don't steal my stuff if you ain't gonna let them know where you got it from. That's a great guy. But that's just one I have. He's a millionaire, right? And I said, dude, I want to come to your house. I want us to cook out and let us get out on the boat. He's like, cool. I took 15 people that's from the urban community to this beautiful mansion. He's a Black male, 42 years old. He's not a rapper.
It can be done.
Oh my God. And what I wanted their response and reaction to be, it was just that. We went out on the boat, we grilled, they taking pictures, they snapping, they IGing and everything. And right when we was about to load up and get back on the van and leave, a few kids said, back to the hood I go. I said, that's what I wanted you to feel. I wanted you to feel what you can have, that it's attainable. Like you can really do this. You just got to work hard. Don't sell yourself short, right?
Yes.
Don't just accept where you're coming from. Don't accept what you had to deal with as though that's the all be all. No, like I come from the hood. Here it is. I have 2 homes. I have a beautiful family, and I'm working hard, and things are working for me. But I'm working it. I'm just like, this is what it's about. People don't understand. God will move when you connect.
He
Right.
does.
Right.
If it's not meant to connect, it's not meant to connect. But he's saying, listen, I need you to move. I don't know. The fact of the matter is, this could have been part of the purpose of this whole event.
And what we know it is because we came here for a different reason.
You know what I'm saying? And look what's happening.
Mhm.
And so, yeah,
right.
so Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm doing a lot of great things. Again, my life is just built around serving. That's it, serving people. You know what I mean? Changing lives. If I leave here today, I am okay. My footprints is in the soil. My handprint is in the soil. I've laid the foundation. People would know, my kids would know your father was here.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us the name again of your organization and how people can get plugged in.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Step Up to Leadership. You can visit sutlnc.org. That's the website. If you want to know more about the website, everything is on there. IG is step_up_leadership on Instagram. And you'll see a lot of great things that we're doing in the community, in the lives of these young boys. We have other programs coming up. If you want to follow me on IG, that's ArkInspire81. You see a lot of the passion, a lot of the influences that I have. A lot of the influence that I have in me that I'm pouring out to the people. LinkedIn is Arkevious Armstrong. Facebook is Arkevious J. Armstrong.
That'd be wonderful.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we thank you for coming.
appreciate you.
It's been wonderful getting to know you, and I love the passion that you have to want to help others.
Absolutely.
More people need to have that passion.
Absolutely.
I do.
Absolutely.
I think we would have a whole lot less hate in the world if we had more people like that.
Yeah. That's the thing about people too. We're in a world to where opinions matter more than anything.
Mhm.
And I always tell people, their opinion they're entitled to whatever. Doesn't mean they hold any weight. You know what I mean? You're entitled to it, but I'm gonna be me.
Yeah, who says that somebody else's opinion of you really isn't your business? Who
It's
says
not,
that?
it's not good. It's stuff saying,
Les
hey,
Brown.
Les Brown. Yeah. You know what? And he did say that. I always tell people, be careful what you pray for.
Mhm.
Because what he done, okay, now I got your attention.
That's right.
Now I can't stop talking about him.
Mhm.
Now I refuse to stop talking about him.
Right. I spoke on that, at one of my events, and it was, by the time I battled cancer, I didn't scare easy
Come on.
anymore.
Come on.
It didn't scare me. I had been through much worse. I dealt with abuse
Wow.
and different forms of neglect and everything. So that, at least, I felt like I did feel like I had some control over it, because it wasn't another person outside of me causing me harm. This
Right.
was me, and I got to choose how I was going to feel through it and what type of mentality I was going to have through it.
Mhm.
And no one could take that from me.
That's right.
But it was my cancer that opened my eyes, because although I had already started an intentional life journey
Mhm.
in November of 2017, and I practiced being intentional and doing things on purpose with ultimate purpose. So that means I had to make a list of everything and everybody in my life. And I just started devoting to myself what I would do better with that person. And they have no clue.
Right.
Fast forward 2020, I got my diagnosis, and it was God telling me, time to practice what you preach.
Mm-hmm.
And practice what you preach while you're still going through your story.
While I'm going through it. And so through my cancer, how I managed to stay grateful.
Come on.
And
Was that a challenge?
It wasn't.
It wasn't?
It wasn't, because
Wow.
he told me serve others. Well, if you're serving others, you can't be sad.
Got you.
You can't.
Yeah. You don't have time to sit here and worry about you.
There's always somebody else that has it worse than you do. And when you recognize that, I'm grateful for what I do have.
Come on.
So for 4 months, we thought my cancer had spread through my body, and they wanted me to expect the worst. So I had told God I was fine with it. I'm fine. I'm fine with whatever.
Yes.
It's your will, your way. If it's my time, I was blessed to be here. And I was grateful to be here. That was my time to go out with a different mindset than who I was before.
Right.
But he told me then, in my garage, I was sitting in my garage, and he said, "You're not dying, you're just going to begin living." And I couldn't fathom what that meant. And then here we are today. Here we are today. I wasn't a speaker before that.
Come on.
Well, we do thank you for coming.
Hey, listen, it's an honor.
Yeah, and
Hey,
it-
great conversation.
yeah, it's good. We have to stay in touch. You know, I tell people, as you heard with the last show, change your mindset.
Can I say it?
Yeah,
Can
oh, please,
can I
please
say,
do.
like, can I say that, please? Like, you know,
What's the
I felt
honors?
so weird. I'm like, let me listen. I've always said at the end of my videos, I would like to close.
There you go.
Change the way you think, you can change your life. I understand that. It's easier said than done. I'm gonna say it again. In order to change, something must change. You have to change the way you think in order for your life to change.
Yes,
Come on now.
yes.
That's right.
Hey,
Thank you.
It
It was a pleasure.
The closure.
So remember to stay tuned, because we always have ordinary people doing extraordinary things,
Come on.
and that can be you.
Or do you want to be the person that helps, that soothes, that loves? Because you can still stand tall and be as big as you want to be when you are this person.